G'day World Wide Web, Lou Dub with a preview of the 2026 Goodwood Cup, a race that dates back to 1808. And did you know that the race was actually over 3 miles back then? It wasn't until 1991 that it was reduced to its current 2-mile distance. Now, this race is one that's full of multiple two-time winners. And since 1991, actually, there have been 7 horses that have won the race more than twice. Most notably, there's Double Trigger, who won 3 times between the years 1995 and 1998, and Stradivarius, between 2017 and 2020, he won it 4 times. Actually, I remember Double Trigger coming out to Australia for the Melbourne Cup in 1995 and failing as a red-hot favourite. He did have to carry 60.5 kilograms that day, and we had some pretty heavy conditions back then in 1995. That one going to Doremus. Now, if you're watching for the first time and thinking, oh, Lou Dub, you're going off on tangents, this is the Goodwood Cup. Well, this is actually Staying the Distance, the Melbourne Cup channel, and everything comes back to the Melbourne Cup here. Without further ado though, we'll take a look at the 2026 Goodwood Cup field. As per usual in Europe and the British Isles, we've got a pretty small field of just 8 runners contesting this Group 1. Number 6, Scandinavia, starts favourite at even money for Aidan O'Brien and jockey Ryan Moore. Next pick is number 7, Trawlerman, who was narrowly beaten by Scandinavia in the Ascot Gold Cup at his last start. The next pick is Rahiebb at $10. Number 1, Amiloc, is at $12, and then Lazy Griff at $15. I'm using the New South Wales TAB's fixed odd prices from midday on Monday the 27th of July. Here are the most recent 10 winners of the race. Scandinavia is the defending champ, having won the race as a 3-year-old last year. Before that, it was the Kyprios era, and there's those 4 years of Stradivarius, trained by John Gosden, who trains this year's second favourite, Trawlerman. The common theme is Goodwood Cup winners winning their previous race. It's only Trushan who didn't. He ran 6th in the Northumberland Plate before winning the Goodwood Cup, but he did carry 63 kilograms in the Northumberland Plate, so he had excuses. Well, we're looking for horses that have won their last race. Primarily the Ascot Gold Cup has provided the winner, but some random Group 3s and Group 2s also. Here's a look at Goodwood's 2-mile circuit. They start with the rail on their left, then they hurtle downhill with the rail on their right. With a mile to go, they usually hug the rail to their left, trekking uphill until about 1,200 metres from home, when they cross from outside rail to inside rail, entering the home straight, which is longer than 1,000 metres. Don't go too early. Number 1, Amiloc. There were some high hopes for this 4-year-old last year when he won the King Edward VII, a Group 2 for 3-year-olds, over 1.5 miles. But progressively his results have sort of gone downhill since he's second in the Irish St Leger. There was a 4th in the Breeders' Cup Turf, over 1.5 miles. And when he returned in 2026, he over-raced as leader in the Group 2 Yorkshire Cup, finishing a distant 6th of 7, while most recently he was back to 1.5 miles, racing back in the field, and he actually ran on well for a 6th in the Hardwick Stakes. I get the feeling his optimum distance is 1.5 miles, but Connections knew he couldn't win a King George VI, so now they're stepping him up to 2 miles. He cannot match Trawlerman or Scandinavia. Number 2 is French Master. He started at 9-1 for this race last year, but failed by 7.5 lengths. He hasn't done anything since then that screams shock winner of the Goodwood Cup. I would say his last start second over a marathon 4,300 metres does indicate he'll be fit and ready for the challenge. He was a close second to Illinois in that race, so those two should be around the same price for this event, the Goodwood Cup. Yes, Illinois is number 3, the one I was just speaking about, the 5-year-old. He had a win in that 4,300 metre handicap at Royal Ascot in June, but raced again in the Group 2 Curragh Cup over 2,800 just a little over a week ago. He finished 5th of 6 in that race. I was shocked to see him backing up in the Goodwood Cup, actually. He finished behind Al Riffa and Happy Pharaoh in the Curragh Cup. He's facing better horses than that here. He can't win, but he may do a job of chaperoning stablemate Scandinavia into the race at the right time. He's also known for being a frontrunner. Lazy Griff. Some of you will remember this guy ran second in the Derby and third in the Irish Derby before an injury-enforced layoff last year. He returned in May with a respectable third in the Henry II behind Dubai Future and Sweet William. Earlier this month, he was a comfortable 2 3/4 length winner at listed level over 2 miles. It makes sense that this guy would make further improvement from his last start. Rahiebb, another 4-year-old fronting up. He was very disappointing in the Gold Cup and I don't forgive them. There was no excuse, and you can look at some freeze frames of the race later. He was well positioned behind Calmers, one off the fence, and had the white flag up 350 metres out. He certainly can't win this. So here are those freeze frames from the Gold Cup. Rahiebb has settled midfield, Scandinavia outside the lead, Miss Alpilles is about second last, and Trawlerman is the leader. Trawlerman still leads with about 6 furlongs to go. Scandinavia is 2 3/4 lengths back. Meanwhile, Rahiebb and Miss Alpilles are off the pace. Turning for home, Trawlerman turns up the heat and Scandinavia is up to the challenge. Rahiebb is being asked to go, but he turns it up very soon. While Miss Alpilles, she battles on bravely, finishing well ahead of Rahiebb, but still more than 10 lengths behind the first two. Here's a brief look at the weather. There hasn't been much rain at Goodwood in the lead up to Tuesday's Goodwood Cup, and as you can see, we have the very low 5% chance of precipitation for race day. Things are looking like good to firm. Number 7 is the favourite Scandinavia. He looks like he's the new king of the staying ranks, having knocked off Trawlerman in a Gold Cup Battle Royale just 6 weeks ago. The 4-year-old Entire won the St Ledger against his own age in September last year and proved he's the real deal by beating the heavyweights of British, Irish and European staying. There is a slight difference this time though, as he will be forced to carry the exact same weight as the other mature males. In the recent Royal Ascot Gold Cup, he carried 1 pound less than Trawlerman. Note, 1 pound converts to 0.45 kilograms, and if anyone here knows of the work of Aussie form analyst Don Scott, you'll know he believed 1.5 kilograms equals 1 length. Let's take a look at that margin in the Ascot Gold Cup again. So he's carrying 0.45 kilograms more this time. That's roughly a third of a length. Trawlerman. Not much needs to be said about this guy, apart from Ebor Handicap winner of 2022, first in the 2023 Long Distance Cup, defeating Kyprios, winner of the Ascot Gold Cup in 2025, winner of the Long Distance Cup in 2025, gritty second in the Gold Cup 6 weeks ago after entering that marathon without a prep race. He's 8, but sparingly raced. Surprisingly, it's his first tilt at a Goodwood Cup. In his one run at Goodwood, he won a Class 2 handicap at the glorious Goodwood Festival in 2022, leading up to his Ebor handicap glory. Miss Alpilles, the only female in the race. I can't say anything bad about this 5-year-old mare. She started at 80 to 1 in the Gold Cup and stayed all day for a 5th place finish. Before that, she was second to a horse called Danielle in the Group 3 Bronte Fillies Stakes. Danielle is a leading contender for the Group 2 Lily Langtree this coming Saturday. I think Miss Alpilles will be ridden conservatively and she'll possibly pick up 4th or 5th prize again.
Restore Britain will not just stop mass immigration, we will reverse it. Every single illegal migrant will be securely detained and then deported. The message will be unrelenting. If you are in this country without our permission, you will be removed. For the foreseeable future, far more people must leave Britain than arrive.
When they first jump out of the gates at Goodwood, they take a bend to the left with about 600 metres downhill before they follow a rail on the right-hand side. Horses like Trawlerman and Illinois are closer to that rail on the right side, and in a perfect world, Trawlerman would get to the lead unhindered, but Illinois is also blessed with gate speed, and I anticipate that Wayne Lorden will race out and head off Trawlerman to lead down the hill. Scandinavia should get to a position 1 off the fence just at the hindquarters of Trawlerman. There is a possibility that Rahiebb and Lazy Griff make that task difficult, but I do feel Scandinavia is superior in gate speed. Now at the 7 furlong mark, I anticipate that William Buick will look to take control around this point as they begin to climb, and then he can lead right-handed into the long home straight. Now, this move can stretch out the field if Trawlerman ups the tempo. Finally, I've got them at the 5 furlong mark when they've turned into the straight. I see Illinois already struggling to stick with Trawlerman, while Scandinavia stalks him. Meanwhile, Lazy Griff will peel off as Illinois becomes traffic. I'm anticipating that Rahiebb will once again find it difficult here as things hot up. And yes, in a massive anti-climax, I'm not going to attempt to split Trawlerman and Scandinavia, but I will suggest that you simply put a quinella on. I rarely take this bet type, but hey, you might get even money for it. My picks for the minor placings are Miss Alpilles and Lazy Griff. So that's my speed map and suggested investment. When doing a speed map, you really become aware of the myriad ways the race could play out. We only need to go back to the 2023 Goodwood Cup to see something spectacular and unexpected. I would also suggest you take a look at the 2023 Long Distance Cup and really expand your mind to appreciate the options that William Buick has with Trawlerman. I'm sure it's going to be a super race, and I would love it. I would love it if Trawlerman goes out and beats Scandinavia. But if you're investing money, just take the quinella.
I'll tell you, honestly, I will love it if we beat them. Love it.